All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over all the high skill champions and not how these champions are difficult, but how these champions will make you a high skilled player. So starting us off, we're going to be going over spacing with Tigra as our example here. She's a really good example for this as her kit kind of demands that you counter your opponent's special attacks and heavy attacks with heavy attacks of your own. So it's a pretty difficult thing to do. You have to understand not only your own champion, but the special attacks and heavy attacks of all other champions to be able to get yourself in the right position to land a heavy attack. Because you don't want to put yourself at risk. So you really need to understand where you need to be and at what times to make that work. Other champions that benefit from this that aren't just Tigra include She-Hulk, Kushala, and Crossbones. So if Tigra's not working for you or you don't enjoy Tigra, not someone you're interested in, those three options work as well. And there's plenty of others. So if I miss anybody, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear it. But this is an essential skill that you'll use across all champions that can benefit you depending on what's going on to get yourself some openings. Moving on, we're going to be going over light intercepting. Now, Absorbing Man is the perfect example for learning light intercepting as a skill on its own. So his kit necessitates the use of light intercepts to maintain his morph charges to keep him in his current form. So obviously this gets easier as he's awakened or as his signature ability gets higher, but it's still an essential part of his kit to maintain his form and essentially maintain his damage and immunities throughout the entirety of the fight. Other champions that make use of intercepts that aren't just light intercepts, you have Ronin, the Superior Iron Man, and Black Cat, who also make use of those things. But light intercepting as a skill is going to be useful across all champions to ensure that you're getting openings that aren't just parries and dexterities. These are ways that any champion can have an opening and benefit you greatly. Moving on to parrying specials. This is becoming a much newer mechanic, and I'm actually enjoying it a lot. So Count Nefaria is the example we're using. I'd like to thank my alliance mate, BW Papik, for all of this footage that he's gotten me. So with basically parrying specials is beneficial across all champions, as remember that parry is a well-timed block, which reduces all the damage that you would receive through your block significantly. So regardless of if you have an added benefit for doing so, learning to parry specials is going to reduce the block damage that you take. And so basically the idea is, right, if you can't dex the special, if you can at least get one well-timed block or a parry in there, you're going to reduce the damage you take through your block. And so that helps you out across all game modes, basically battlegrounds, alliance, war, questing even, if you need to maintain your health for any reason. The other champions that benefit from doing this are Iron Man, the original Iron Man, who's had a rework, and now Black Panther Civil War, who's also had a rework and benefits from parrying special attacks and other attacks. So delayed special attacks is a bit of a unique ability and to be honest doesn't really apply to everybody unless there's a node that specifies. But the champions that gain benefits from this, other than Valkyrie, as shown, are Massacre, Hulkbuster, and Serpent. So these champions basically what you're trying to do is use a 5-hit combo, and then instead of using your special attack immediately, you delay the use of your special attack just slightly, not enough for the defender to attack you, but just enough for them to be able to get their block up. That way your entire special attack is thrown into their block, and you get to benefit from the use of your Pierce buffs or Massacre's Ignition, or you break that special or that defender's block in order to gain added effects from your own special attack. So there's plenty of other champions that do that, break blocks with their specials, but in this case, the delayed special will specifically help these champions out. Phasing is more of a test in patience. Not a lot of champions make great use of phasing. There's a few, obviously. Danny Moonstar, Invisible Woman, even Silver Surfer, Hood, and a few others that make use of this. But the idea is a kind of a unique style of fighting where you essentially don't do anything. You kind of let the champion, your defender, attack you and make use of the guaranteed misses in order to take other opportunities and get free openings for your attacks. So a bit unique, but applies to a few champions, something you should check out and fun to practice. So I've got to include Shang-Chi here, and the skill I'm talking about is combo variation, which is essentially the different use of different combo enders to gain added benefits or abilities. So Shang-Chi has tons of different abilities that he gains from using different combos. So this is a bit unique. We have to pay attention to a bit more than just fighting. So I would say he's one of the original high skill champions and can really teach you a lot. What's really neat is that coming up here, guys, pretty soon is Spiral, who will be coming out, who's going to make great use of having different combos and not repeating the same actions as you did previously. So she'll benefit from a similar mechanic that Shang-Chi does in not repeating different combos or at least gaining benefits from them. So, guys, that's going to be all the skill champions or high skill champions that we're going to go over. I really hope this has helped you out to not be worried so much about the champions you're ranking up. Only you know your capabilities and what the things that you'd like to learn and do. So, I really hope that helped you out. And give a like and a subscribe is always helpful. And best of luck in the battle realm, my friends.